Hello bellezas, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then just welcome. Hi, my name is Brenda. I do mostly paranormal videos here on my channel, so if that is something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing down below. Also turn on your post notifications so you do not miss when I post another video like this one. Now with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. Okay you guys, so today we will be reading some more stories that were submitted to me by my subscribers. I know a lot of you have really been enjoying these, and I have gotten more stories in, so now I have a chance to do more of these videos. But please let me know if you guys would want me to like switch it up now and then and skip doing some of these videos, because I feel like I do quite a few of the reading paranormal stories for my subscribers. I could read from another source, like I could do another Reddit video, or I could do scary stories to tell in the dark. I've done that like a couple of times where I read off of the book. Just let me know what else you guys want to see, or if you just want to continue seeing more of these videos where I just read the stories that were sent in to me. But yeah guys, so just let me know. Now let's go ahead and get into story number one. Let me grab my phone. I think the best way for me to do this is, because my microphone doesn't like it. Oh crap. Oh, it's actually not doing the buzzing noise right now. Okay, and as I had said in my last one of these, I am going to do these in intervals. Is that the right word? 3 stories in each video, so I do apologize if these videos are some of longer than others, or I mean shorter than others, because it just would depend on how long the story itself is. But I do want to keep it about 3 or 4 in each video. So and also let me know if you guys like the videos being longer or shorter. Okay, so let's go ahead and do story number 1, which was sent in to me by Yaris Sanchez, and it doesn't say anywhere if she minds me saying her name or not. And as I had said, unless you tell me to keep you anonymous, I will say the name on the email. So okay, it says, I have been debating on sending this story. I feel it's a bit short, but nonetheless it scared me and my friends near to death. About, I want to say 5 years ago, I was going through boyfriend troubles, and my girls insisted we would have a girls' night out. You feel me? A little drinks, a little club, you know, girl. Anyway, before we hit the first club, me and my friends wanted to get a little litty. When we parked, we got out of the car, and we had parked next to this very big hiking trail, Flash Mountain. But it was obviously nighttime, so it was closed off to the public. So we headed a little bit towards the mountain. I stopped obviously at the gate. We didn't want to get caught, because yeah girl, we were smoking a little something something, if you catch my drift. So there we were, you know, doing our thing, to chatting. We're basically almost done. I did feel a little weird, like when someone is watching you, and then we hear some rustling behind the gate. I didn't think much of it because we were about to leave anyway. Then my friend in front of me says, "Look," pointing behind me, and all we see is this huge black mass behind the gate. We book it, girl. We ran for our lives. But I did take a quick look back as we were running away, and we didn't see anyone anymore. It just disappeared. It had nowhere to hide. It just vanished. Let me tell you, my whole night was ruined. We just went straight home, had a girls' night sleepover, ordered food, and were just kind of scared the whole night. I love your videos. Please don't ever stop. Oh my god, I think I would do the same, because what the hell? It's just seeing a black mass, and hopefully it wasn't something that you just... Hold on, this shit's freaking out again. And obviously it wasn't just like paranoia or anything, especially if all of you saw that black mass. That's like terrifying. I would be out of there too. But you guys made the right choice by dipping and just spending the rest of the night at home, because who knows what that was, or if it could have followed you home or anything. No, Dios guarde. Okay, let's go ahead and get into our second story. This one is sent in to me by Lisette, and it says, "Hello belleza, how are you? I hope you're doing great." I am doing great, girl. I hope you are too. You may say my name in your video, Lisette. I have so many paranormal stories that are all linked to each other, but for now I will tell you 3 of the stories that happened in Mexico. Number 1. I was about 9 years old when all of this took place. Both of my parents are from a small pueblo in Jalisco. My parents' house is located in the backyard of my grandma's house, within a 20-step walking distance, with a massive tree in the middle. One night, I wanted to go to my parents' house to go to sleep. While my family was in the front of the house, I had to go through my grandma's back door to get to the backyard. Mind you, the only light that was on was above my grandma's back door, and it lights up about 5 feet. As I was walking closer to the massive tree, I heard a skin crawling sound. Sounded like it was saying, "Che, che, che." At the time, I was no longer underneath the light when I stopped and listened again, and I am certain it was coming from up in the tree, which I couldn't see anything because it was so dark. My anxiety kicked in, and I said, "Nope, I will wait for my parents." Later that night, I woke up out of nowhere. I felt like I couldn't move, and at the same time, I felt like I was floating in the air. As I turned my head, I saw 2 red glowing eyes in complete dark. As I'm typing this, it still gives me chills. Whatever that was attached itself to me to this day. I do think it was a very evil entity. No, man. Oh my god, that is so creepy. I want to know what this sound was because I can't really imagine it, but at the same time I don't really want to know. I don't want to hear that sound in my head forever. That is super creepy. Okay, so on to our second one. Number 2. Now I have an uncle who said that when he was playing hide and seek with his cousins, he went to hide in my parents' backyard. At the time, no one was in my parents' house, so it was dark. He tried to climb to get to the top of the roof when he said he saw someone on the top of the roof that wasn't a normal creature. He wouldn't explain further than that. Whatever he saw impacted him. No, I don't like that either. Girl, bye. I would have ran the hell out of the house and not come back. Okay, then number 3. My grandma told me a story that also happened in my parents' house long before I was born. My grandma had a kid to clean up around my parents' backyard and inside the house, and he got paid for that. One day, that kid saw my older brother's toys and grew a temptation to get those toys. I'm not sure if it was later that night or a different night, but the point is that he went back in the night. My grandma said that when the kid tried to get the toys, he saw a Catherine in the house, and the Catherine asked him if he wanted toys. I don't necessarily think this house is haunted, but I do think Mexico's land is supernatural, if that makes any sense. Anyways, I love your videos, Lisette. I totally get what you mean by that because I feel like there's just a lot of things that happened on that land, and obviously in the United States too, which is why I feel like there's so many hauntings just in this whole area. You know, a lot of blood was spilled and a lot of just bad history in the world or in that country. But that is so scary. Like I wonder what that little kid felt like after that because he's like, I'm not playing with any of these toys anymore. But that was a really good story. Thank you, Lisette, for sending that in. Now let's go ahead and get to story number 3. Okay, so the next story is sent in to me by Azucena Lopez, I think is how you say her name. And it says, "Hey girl, I discovered your channel not too long ago and was completely intrigued. Love your content so much." Thank you so much, girl. It says, "I decided to share one of my mom's paranormal stories that happened to her around the early 2000s. She had traveled from the US to Mexico for her mom's funeral. It was a very sad day for her family. The funeral was outside the rancho in which my mom and her siblings grew up in. She explained that the weather was really rainy and extremely hard to see. The funeral had ended and so did the rain, so it was time for her and her family to go back to their rancho. Her cousin was having a very hard time driving. He stopped the car when they arrived at the dangerous road that had many turns, rocky and slippery surfaces. He thought it was the best for them to walk the rest of the way to the rancho, and he decided to stay by the car and push it. My mom and her family walked by a forest that was beside them, which was extremely dark, but she didn't really mind as she had seen it before. Her sister and her dad were in front of her walking, until her sister screamed and said she saw the devil by the forest. Donde, mija, donde? Replied my grandpa. He was asking where. She pointed towards the forest, and there my mom saw a very big animal that sort of looked like a gorilla, with really black hair and red eyes that glowed. They all got scared, but began to throw rocks at it and screamed Ave Maria Purissima, hoping it would go away, and it did. From there, they had walked a little faster until they arrived to the rancho. My mom used to tell me these stories as a kid, but the most creepy part is that my mom actually had one of my sisters with her. She has many other paranormal stories I can share, and some of my own. Let me know if you want to hear more. That is so creepy. Oh my god. Oh my god. First of all, if anyone told me that we were walking the rest of the way anywhere, I'd be like, no. In the middle of the night when it's rainy and I can't see anything, that alone, I'm like, I'll stay here in the car until later. Unless they were going to leave me alone, then I'd be like, okay, fine, I'm going. But that is so creepy. I wonder what it could have possibly been. So many possibilities. Bigfoot, Skinwalker, the devil, Bigfoot. But yeah, that was a really creepy story, girl. Thank you so much for sending that in, and I would love to hear more stories from your mom from Mexico. Those are like the most intriguing, I swear. Okay, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you guys a little treat. We're gonna do one more. So this is story number 4. Okay, and this one is sent to me by Jessica Lewis. It says, hey girly, hold on. God damn it, this thing keeps falling out of my ear. It says, hey girly, my name is Jess. I have tons of paranormal stories and heard you needed more submissions. I suck at telling stories, but I'll do my best. Thank you so much. I always need more submissions, you know. Okay, it says story number 1, Hayward House. I used to live in this house in Hayward, California. It was extremely haunted. Everyone in my family would have terrifying experiences. When we first moved in, the deadbolt to our entrance door would randomly unlock and lock, and it was always a loud click. The family computer was right next to the door, so on multiple occasions I would lunge to the door and swing it open. And surprise, surprise, there was nothing. Over time, we wouldn't even be fazed by it anymore. I would just casually announce it to my sisters, and they would just respond like, oh, okay, in a whatever attitude. LOL. It eventually just stopped. The weirdest part is that there is a small corridor to the main entrance. Basically, you need another key to go through. This is a really heavy glass door before the door to our house. I'm sorry, I hope I explained that okay. The reason I mention that is because at times we would hear knocking on the house door too. Like before, I would open it as quickly as possible and there would be no one. You need to get through this heavy glass door that locks automatically to even get to the house door. That all stopped over time. I think it was because we got used to it that we wouldn't get scared by those activities anymore. And that's just the beginning. Yeah, I feel like definitely when you stop paying attention to it or giving it attention and you're kind of just like, oh, you know, that happens all the time. Like, it's getting old. Eventually, this spirit or this entity will kind of just move along. So hopefully that's what ended up happening. Okay, story number 2, Hayward House. One day, my mom got dressed up and she asked my little sister Vanessa to take a picture of her on the couch in our living room. In our living room, we have a huge sliding door that are made of glass. So the whole wall is basically glass sliding doors with long blinds. So anyway, Vanessa took the pictures using my mom's phone. It was one of those that flipped open before iPhones existed, and she took multiple pictures. Later on, when my mom was looking at her photos again, in one picture, she noticed a red smudge right behind her head on the sliding door blinds. My mom found it odd and zoomed in. That's when she realized it was a red man with a black goatee, staring right at her with a huge grin. It was holding something that looked like a red pitchfork. I know it sounds insane, but I saw the picture myself and dropped the phone from getting so scared. The detail and everything was so strange. It was slightly blurry and the man was a bit see-through. I really wish we still had that picture to submit it, but it scared my mom so much, she deleted it. Anywho, I love your channel and your spooky stories. Keep them coming. I will submit more stories later. Much love, Jess. P.S. Please let me know if you need me to clarify anything. Like I said, I'm not the greatest storyteller. Haha. Girl, I pretty much got everything, so that was insane. And I also wish that you still had that picture because, oh my god, I would want to see that. That sounds absolutely terrifying, and I wonder what that could have been, because if it was the devil, I'd be like, this man is getting in people's selfies. He's like, can you imagine? Oh my god, that'd be so terrifying. But yeah, so the fact that you had like a door before your house door, and then there'd be no way that somebody was like trying to be funny and like coming up to the front door and knocking on it, and then there'd just be no way for them to get out of the first door in such a short amount of time. So I definitely found those very, very interesting. That house is like probably 100% haunted, or there could have just been entities passing through, spirits, and they were kind of just looking for that attention from somebody. And as I said, once you stop giving it to them and you kind of just end up with something completely different, which it makes it even scarier, because after all of that stopped and then there was even more, that's crazy to me. I would be like, no man, we're moving out right now. You know? But yeah, Jess, I would love to hear more stories from you, and that one was a really good one. Thank you so much for submitting that in. And that is going to be our last story for today's video, guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed all of those. And as always, if you want to submit your paranormal stories, the email to send it to is beyondbellezaparanormal@gmail.com, and that is the only place that I get these stories from. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. And before I do end today's video, today's comment shout out goes to this person right here. Thank you so much for leaving a nice comment. As always, I really do appreciate it. And if you want to be the next comment shout out, all you have to do is leave me a nice comment below, and that's it. And yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye bye.